Man, this thing isn't mowing so good. It's just knocking all these dandelion things off for the neighbor's yard. Huh. Oh, that's right. I gotta take the snow blade off and put the mowing deck on. Stupid. Let's go swap that out.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flat Thunder channel. My name's Andy, and this is the 520H Wheelhorse that I've been working on the channel. Right now we have the snow plow on it. We need to get the snow plow off of it, and I have a 42-inch rear discharge mowing deck that we're going to install on this, so we can get out there and mow down that dandelion field we got going on. Looking in from the rear of the tractor, you have two clamps that hold the snow blade up into the bracket. This guy here on the left and another one on the right of the differential. Now you just lift these up and the snow blade can slide forward. But first we're going to disconnect the lift mechanism. This is your lift mechanism here, and it has this bar that connects the plow to the lift mechanism. Now I just have a spring clip here, and it probably should have a washer on this pin, but looks like I didn't install it because it probably didn't have it the last time this was installed. So you work your spring clip out and your pin should come out. And I usually keep the pin and the spring clip on the snow blade, that way I don't lose it. And this is good to go the way it is. Almost forgot, this is the angle lever to tilt the plow, and apparently I lost a spring clip on this one, or it was lost before I brought it to my house, and it just has a, I don't know if that's a piece of wire or old piece of old nail, who knows what that is, but need to straighten this out and get this heck off here. Okay. And again, I always like to put the hardware back in so I don't lose it like I lost those spring clips, or whenever those spring clips were lost. So I disconnected the whole lever. You just have to take this wire out of this little bracket down here. This will make it easier to store and also make it easier to take off. You can get away with weaseling it around once the plow is disconnected from the rear bracket and lay it down so it'll slide out. Back at the rear, we can remove these brackets and slide the whole snow plow forward, or drop it down and back the tractor off of it. You want to make sure you keep your fingers out of there, or hold it up, support it up when you're loosening it, because it will fall. So now that's free, and we're ready to slide it forward. Factory Toro Wheelhorse snow blade. I'll hit you with the model number here just in case you're curious about what kind it is or what the model number is. There's the model number and serial number. Now the part that makes this snow blade unique for this 520 is it has this rear extension bracket on it, and this is a factory bracket. It's this tractor is longer by about that much, which I don't know, 4 or 5 inches looks like, than the standard snow blade that they offered before the 520 came out. Let's tip this snow blade up and slide it out of the way, and we'll get our mowing deck over here and get it ready to install. This is our 42-inch wide rear discharge mowing deck. I really like the way the rear discharge mowing decks work. They like to lop the grass off and just fold them down and leave the grass that was cut just laid and falling out the back. So these are nice clean cut, and it doesn't blow all the grass in one big pile, and you don't have to worry about which direction the grass is coming out of the deck. So this is my personal favorite. The little Wheelhorse, the 704, is also a rear discharge. This deck has not been in service for several years. I forget how I got it. I got it from Dad somehow, but it needs a new belt on the deck itself. The drive belt here is worn, so we're going to replace that before we put it on the tractor.
This is the belt and the belt path. That's obviously the right side spindle, the left side spindle, the slack take up, and there's where the engine attaches to the deck and also the middle spindle. So I have my vice grips here, which may or may not be able to move them out of the way to get the belt off, but pinched on this bar so this bar can't slide this way. So hopefully that stays, but I would not put your fingers anywhere where it would get pinched. Alright, we got it off all the important things. Now if we can just weasel it around these vice grips without it slingshotting at us. Alright. And you can see there's like chunks missing out of this belt, so this belt's no good. It's ate up pretty good. Right now I'm just checking for any noticeable burrs or sharp edges on the pulleys. I don't feel any. Also, it's a good time to check your spindle bearings. Make sure they spin nice, freely. No excessive wobble or in play. These all feel really nice. I think everything's good there. Now we just need to release our vice grips. But I'm not going to let it sling. I'm going to pull the tension tight on the belt again. So it pulls this that way. Now I'm going to release it. And then slowly allow it to tighten. Nice. So while we're in here, I'm going to wipe off some of this grease. I'm not going to be overly concerned about making it perfect because the whole tractor needs a good pressure washing, but I'm going to get all the areas that are underneath the belt guard covers and maybe a little bit in here in the middle. I think this lift arm may need straightened as well. It does look a little bent here. This is an important step. Make sure all your spindle bearings are greased thoroughly before the season. Concerned this one here isn't taking the grease the way the gun pops off of there. Maybe this is a good time to try out. I have a lock and lube end, and I haven't installed it on this because it's so much larger, but maybe it's a good time to give it a try on this one. I have a lock and lube swivel. Here's a lock and lube coupler. I was really excited to try this, and then I saw how large the coupler was compared to a factory standard one, and then this part's probably going to get in the way a lot, but here we're right in the open, why not try it? Supposedly it's good, come with an extra set of jaws. Supposedly it's good for 10,000 psi. Okay, now then, this pivots freely and has the clamping jaws for the fitting. Still watching? Let's see what this does. Clamp her on there. Oh, it's really tight and it just started squirting out around the jaws. Makes me concerned something's wrong there. The old crescent wrench can do. That's better. It's not perfectly straight. She's got a little twist to it, but That's more where it's supposed to be, and it'll be less likely to fall off the lift arm like that. Fill that up with WD-40. I still don't think that's taking grease the way it should, but I did hear some of the WD-40 squeezing out when we were pumping in the new grease. So maybe that'll work some of the stuff that's hardened in there out. Really need to mow lawn. We're gonna get this thing on the tractor, and after we get it on the tractor and mow it a couple times, we'll check this again. So now we have the mowing deck off to the side. We're gonna bring the tractor up, turn the wheel so it's easy to get the deck underneath, and slide it in. And slide it in from the right hand side, because that's the way the lift arm sticks in to engage in the deck. Now before you get it all the way through, this is your lift arm. You gotta lift it over the first part of the carriage, but you want it to go in this slot. See, that's in the slot now, so that it can lift the deck there. Well, that's loose. That's no good. That needs tightened up. I have to tighten that up. But push the button, rotate forward. Now you can slide, lift in your bracket for your deck. No tools needed unless your attach-o-matic bracket's loose. I'm gonna check the other side. I lied. That was way easier if you align that tab with the V half and then bump the deck up just a little bit with the lift and then align it the rest of the way, bump it up the rest of the way, and then you can cam latch it in. You have to kick it around a little bit left to right to get it to line up and pop in there, but I was having a bear of a time. Usually I never had to use the lift. Maybe it just wasn't quite aligned in there the way it should be, but using the lift didn't hurt anything as long as you weren't pinching anything with it being out of position. So I would do it like that every time because it was hard to get it aligned. This contraption here is the Mule drive assembly, and this unit basically takes the rotational energy from the engine going this way, sideways, and converts it so it can spin the deck on the bottom. So it's basically taking the motion from here and putting it down here, and it goes around this set of pulleys to do that. Now, It also has an adjustment on here so you can adjust the tension of the belt so it doesn't slip. Push this button in the side, pull this bottom lever out, and then it opens the slot. Obviously get it aligned so your belt's on the right side. First, what I like to do is hook the belt on the deck. So you have that on the deck pulley now. You have your belt positioned in here, which you can tell which the right way is. You don't want it twisted or bound. Basically, the back side of the belt is on this pulley, and then the V of the belt is in the V groove pulley. And it comes up like this to hook on the PTO on the side of the engine. So we'll take this, slide it up in there, and then rotate our lever back, and this guy pops out. So now that's on there. Now all we have to do is loosen this guy so we can pop the belt on the PTO drive on the side of the engine. Here's our PTO on this tractor. Be careful because this heat shield can be hot. But on this unit, this 520, you pull this spring pin, lift this guy up out of here, pull this quick release pin, and that guy folds out of the way. Now you want to take your belt and put it on your PTO drive. Okay, that's good. Put this guy back on. That's good to go, but obviously the belt's way too loose, so we need to tighten it up by putting tension on the front. Now on this, you don't want to put too much tension on there because you'll overload the bearings more so than they should be. Too little tension will make the deck slip, but if the deck slips, you don't want the deck to slip all the time. You should be able to hear it. You'll hear the belt squeal. But if the deck slips, you can always get out, come up to the front, and tighten this up a little bit. That deflection right there seems pretty reasonable. We'll give that a go. Off camera, I grease these wheels on both sides, and I think this guy's ready to cut some grass. Well, that worked way better than the snow plow. Somebody needs to get out here and kill all these dandelions. It's definitely like a dandelion ranch here. 520's back in action. Now she's got the mowing deck on her, ready to mow lawn this summer. Pretty excited. Even more so excited, the front tires don't go flat and you don't have to pump them up every time you use it. Alright, if you're interested in that and what it takes to change those, there's another video on the channel under the Wheelhorse tab. I'll put the link down in the description. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave your questions and comments in that section below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, everyone.